Hi everybody. I had a request that I do a stitch with me where I talk to you about what I'm doing. So here we go. Hopefully I don't annoy you too much. Okay, so still working on this Soulful Mediterranean Tranquility project by Artisy, and I will put a link to this pattern in the comments in case you want to make it yourself, or the description box rather. And I hope you are all staying warmer than me. I am staying inside because we are under an extreme cold warning right now, with wind chills of up to -50, and yes, that's -50 Celsius. So yeah, it's definitely time to be hibernating. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna check the length of all my threads of this color because that can affect what I'm going to do. Okay, that's a long one. So I'm gonna keep that one, and I think this one, yeah, I'm gonna finish off. Oh, there's one more here. That one should be long enough for those. Okay, so here we go. Ended up with a few threads of this color, but that's just how my method happens to work sometimes. And I'm just gonna pin stitch this here, since this is a light color and I don't have to worry about it showing through. Oh, now where did I put my scissors? Ah, there they are. Putting my scissors within reach is something I seem to always forget to do when I sit down to start stitching. All right. So there's a couple of this color. Let's see how long is that. Was a short one. Okay. Let's see if this one's any longer. And this is a longer one, so this is the one I'm going to carry on to do more stitches. This is the one I'm going to park. When I get to the other one, I will just do that stitch and finish it off since it is short. All right. Oh dear. Pardon me. Oh. End of the winter break, so having to get up early again to get my kiddo off to school. Feeling that tiredness today. All right. Should have a short piece for this bit here. Shorter. Okay. Make sure I don't accidentally put a knot in my thread, because that's no fun. This section I may end up doing some stitches out of order. We will see. Sometimes I will cut and restart. Just all depends, but yeah, when there are more scattered stitches instead of bigger blocks together, sometimes I have to break my guidelines. I'm not going to say rules because this is supposed to be fun, right? But my guidelines of trying not to box in unstitched squares. Ugh, say that 10 times fast. So I try not to, but I don't stress super hard about it if it just doesn't work out that way. Finished product's what I care about the most. In the end, does it look pretty? All right. So yeah, when I'm working a area with a lot of different colors, a lot of confetti stitches, probably get maybe 100 done an hour, sometimes less. If it's an area with a lot of colors, then I can get way more than that. But I enjoy the process either way. Ooh, dear me, here we go again. All right. I think these bits should be long enough for me to do, yeah, some single stitches later, which I'm sure I will get to. All right. Okay, and again, let's see how long this other piece is. No, that's long enough to do those, I think. Okay, I can see what I'm gonna do with this one then. Oh, look at that. We definitely don't want to do that, do we? No. Let's move that out of the way and try again. Ah, yeah, that was a short parked thread, so those can get a little caught more easily. The longer threads are actually easier to keep controlled, I find. Alright, so let's go down there, and then I'm going to unthread this because it's going to be a while till I get to that spot. And too many needles on threads and it starts to tangle and doesn't save any time, so it's just sort of a balancing act of leaving some on the needles that are going to be used again soon, so I don't have to rethread, but not making myself more work in the long run, having to untangle snarls. Okay. So I've done most of my stitch with me sessions without me talking. Let me know if you prefer it this way, although I suppose you could always turn the sound off if I start to annoy you, right? But I'll try to be somewhat entertaining. Okay. And parked. Okay, so yes, that is the one I said earlier that I was just going to do the one stitch and then tie it off, because that's really only long enough to do that. So then I will only have one thread of this color in this section after this. And I'm going to do this across the back, since there's a lot of light colors in this section. This is the sky center section. I don't want the dark colors showing through on a pin stitch. Okay. So that one's not terribly long, so what I'm probably going to do, yeah. There's a path I can see where it'll only be a couple more stitches with this thread, which is really how long it is for, so that will work out just fine. Okay. 13. Kind of medium length piece here. It's actually probably going to work out nicely. There we go. So when I finish this diagonal, I'm going to be moving my frame, and I'll post a new picture of it on my Insta. Oh, you know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to carry it a little further, though, just because, yes, that just seems to make more sense to me, because then it can go back down and to the left. And okay, 505. I haven't reached any zeros yet on this design, but then we're not quite halfway through. It's always really fun watching those numbers count down to 0 when you get close to the end. So hope y'all out there had a good holiday season, and I hope y'all are staying safe from the COVID. It's been a wild couple of years, hasn't it? Okay, let me see if I can find quite a few threads here, but we'll just pull them up out of our way and then park that there. And unthread the needle because I don't need that color anymore. Okay. I think this piece will be just right for those 3 stitches. Nice. Love it when it works out that way. All right. But I'm only going to do the one first because otherwise I'm going to close in that little checkerboard stitch right here to the right of the one I'm doing right now. So some people don't have the patience to sort of switch between, but this is just my way. Alrighty. So, see, I'm going to end up with multiple threads of this color, yeah, because of just the way it's scattered across this big square of 100. Alright. And park that again. Okay, so now I can do these 2 diamond stitches again. So I didn't have to drop my needle for that one for very long before I finished it. And one thing I like with this method is since there aren't any empty ones to fill in later, you can really see your progress as you move across your project. It's kind of nice to, you know, in the morning it's up here, and then by the end of your day stitching, your diagonals down here. Something you can really see that you're making progress. Although I do have an upcoming project that is not a full coverage piece, so I will not be stitching it with a parking method. But I haven't got to that one yet. But I will post a video of that one as well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I've done those two. I'm gonna do another one that's in the corner and kind of carry it back up. Since it's not much further to carry, keeps me from adding another thread, and I'm still doing the stitches in order of avoiding closing stuff in. Let's see, so right here. Yes, we are. Okay, so. Oh, my apologies, my goodness. Oh. Back up to the top bit again, since it's this diagonal. I might have heard my husband pull up just now. Alright, so we're going to go sort of down to the left and back up again. Alright, one little lone stitch all by itself. Ooh. Oh. When I do the stitch, I will be left with an even 1,000 left in my pattern. It's funny. Okay. Nice little short piece for that. Pin stitch this, as it is a very, I'm gonna pull this one out of my way, very light color. There. Okay. Let's see how long this piece is. That's a decent length. So we can do some carrying with it. Ooh, a little frayed on the ends though. There we go. Was not. My husband pulled up. anybody else. Okay. There we go. And so I did that one, and then we're just going to park that. Okay. So this number 7 will be done soon. Oh, can't seem to grab a needle there. Just trim my nails so I no longer have my claws to help me pull one free. All right. Okay. All right. So 2 threads of this color, but one is so close to that end of diagonal line, I'm going to ignore it and leave it for when I do the next section. Okay, and part again, and all right. Let's see where that color stitch is. Park it right below. There. Okay. Tuck those out of my way. Right. Another lone little stitch. And I got an weensy piece, which is just perfect. Alrighty. Let's see if this is, yeah, we can squeak one stitch out of this. Excellent. All right, so I'm finishing off by threading along the back here. Just do this by feel. I've had people ask how I learned how to do that. What I did was the first few times I tried doing it from the front, and then I turned my work to make sure that I had properly caught the stitches on the wrong side. And after I'd done that successfully a few times, I knew the difference of how it felt when I got it right and when I didn't. It's really a matter of if there's enough resistance. So if you're sliding along the back and it goes through too easily, then you know you probably haven't caught it through enough threads to secure it. But so once you get used to it, I basically never turn my work anymore. Unless there's a tangle and I just can't avoid it. Okay. And park it. There we go. Okay. All right, yeah, it's only long enough for one stitch, but that's fine. last one of this color. Okay, so as you can see, I don't go row by row, just follow the colors, which sometimes it works out, sort of going across the row and working downwards, sometimes it doesn't. That's just my way. Oh, this was a full thread. I thought it was 2. It's already folded up. That one, and then another one in the corner. Right. This piece is pretty short if I'm remembering correctly. We shall see. Yeah, that'll be just enough for those 2 stitches. And then tie it off and we will restart with a new thread once we get to the next stitches of these color. There we go. Okay. Alright, that's a decent length. What about this other one? Oh, that's a long one too. Okay, I'm going to carry that one down to the left. Alright, I know what I'm... Whoop. That one was threaded, now I just unthreaded it. That happens sometimes. No big deal. I can thread pretty quick nowadays. I've had a lot of practice. So in this one, I'm going to park it down here and sort of work back up along the edge once I get to this color. I'm going to unthread it because it's going to be a while till I get to that color, and it's just going to probably tangle on me. Alrighty. Okay, that's fair length too, but we have a lot of this color, so multiple threads will not be a problem. Make sure that's smooth. There we go. Okay, so that is in the next section, so just tuck that away later. Okay, now I think we may end off this thread because it's, yeah, it's too short to reach down to the 3 other stitches of this color and do them as well. Yeah, so end off this one too. Okay. was actually going to leave this part, but now I realize the next instance of this is in the section I'm currently using. This is right on that line. So I'm actually going to do it and carry it, because that way I don't have to start another thread for that one stitch lower down in this diagonal by itself. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. All right. Oops, pulling on the wrong thread. There's a 50-50 chance, but you always seem to pull on the wrong one, right? It's kind of like when you're plugging in a USB. It's never the correct way on the first try. Should be half the time, but it just does not seem to work out that way. Right. Let's see how long this piece is. Not very. Oh, I just realized I can't do both those because it will close it in. In fact, what I'm going to do then is do this one stitch. Oop. Try not to catch another thread. I'm going to do this one stitch, and then I'm going to park it up here for these two. Then I'm going to switch to this color here, because then I can do those two stitches together. I could have done one and then parked below it, but this way I can do them both at the same time. So really works out to be 6 of one and half dozen of the other, but whatever. Okay, so that is there, and then do that, and I think this one will be tied off. We shall see. Well, this actually might be enough for 2 of those stitches that are sort of by themselves. So yeah, I'm going to park this in the next diagonal to do those 2 stitches, because I am a thread miser. Okay, so okay. Oh my goodness, that one is just being a pest, isn't it? Oh, okay. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, just enough for that one stitch by itself. Okay. And I was actually hoping for a teeny little piece. I don't have it. Oh well. Can't get lucky all the time, right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to see how long is this one. If it's only enough for one stitch, then I'm going to, no, that's a fairly decent length. Yeah, because then I would just park this in the next instance. But since that other thread is closer to it, it's going to be long enough to probably do all those stitches. I'll just do this one and tie this off. There we go. Alright. 7:43. Now, let's see, make sure I put this in the correct spot. Yeah, I've sometimes gone one big box of 100 in the wrong spot and then wondered why none of the parked threads was matching up with my pattern. That's because you're working it in the wrong place, you goof. Of course it's not going to match up if you aren't stitching in the correct spot, right? One time I was about to unpark a bunch of threads and repark them correctly, and then it turns out, good thing I didn't do that or it would have been all wrong. That would have sucked. Okay. Oh dear. My goodness me. Okay, 38, 36. Yeah, we got about a foot of snow yesterday, so you can hear the cars squeaking through it. Ugh. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see. So like I said, yeah, I don't always work in rows. Just working sort of from that left edge towards the right edge, from the top towards the bottom diagonally. I just go whatever is closest. Oh dear. No luck today. There we go. Oh, I spoke too soon. There we go. Now we have it. Alrighty. So I've got one thread over there for those. Okay, so I'm gonna go park this down. Let's see, down here. There. There we go. Okay. Oh, this one is a nice long piece. Carry it some distance because it's still in the next big square. Any further than that, and I end and restart because then I'm using more thread. This is sort of borderline, so there. There we go. Mark that I parked it. Okay. How long is this bit here? No, that was right. Only short. Okay, perfect. Then what I'm going to do is join a new piece and go up along the edge. All the little pieces of this one. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go up along the edge. Yeah, that will work out nicely. I get to do a whole bunch in a row of the same color. Goes a little faster that way. Oops. Oh. Then next two of these stitches are also in the corner. Go. And then park. All right. Okay. Oh, darn it. There. It's snagged. Fold, which is no fun. Okay. Ooh, goodness me. This is still long enough to do a couple more. What I actually do is I do one pin stitch to sort of tack it when it's this short so it doesn't get pulled back through by accident. There we go. Okay. There we go. Wonder if you can hear my guinea pig in the background munching on some hay. Mm. Yeah. All right. Feel that, yeah. Sounded suspicious, but there's no knot on the back. Good. Okay. Let's see how long this is. Uh-huh. Plenty long enough. Okay, that one I'm gonna park here. And then that one will be one that sort of carries up and to the right. Just how it happens to work out. Right. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll start a new one there. So let's see how long that one piece is. Part them here. Yeah, so that is a short one. So yeah, if it was a long one, I would maybe work my way down from the left back up to avoid closing in stitches, but also to avoid adding another thread. But that is a short piece. It won't be long enough to reach these ones and do them anyway. So, new thread time. All right. So right there. right, about ready to wrap up for the day. Okay, just do this one and tie it off. Worked out to the perfect length, hey? Just enough to do one and finish. See, when I pushed that through, I could feel there wasn't enough resistance, yeah, for it to be secure. So I just kind of pulled it back and tried again. This time it was. There. And mark that it's done. All right, thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time.